Hello everyone, welcome to YourPedia. So all the students of Telangana Pollution Control Board and Andhra Pradesh Pollution Control Board, those who are preparing for AEE exam. So today I am going to discuss you a very important topic for this exam from solid waste management, that is basically municipal solid waste management rules, because mostly you will see the question from the rules also, and here only we will discuss about how to segregate the municipal solid waste, how to collect the municipal solid waste, how to dispose it, and all the previous year question what has been came from municipal solid waste we will discuss in this class also. So generally when we are seeing the syllabus for your exam for pollution control board AEE, in that they have mentioned about solid waste, in that they have mentioned especially about municipal solid waste, and they have also mentioned e-waste. So today we are going to talk some basics about municipal solid waste, what are the rules, what are the new rules implemented, how we will dispose it, how we will treat it, and we will see the previous year questions on that. So see, municipal solid waste management rules 2016, we will talk about segregation, collection, treatment and disposal techniques. So see, if we will talk about what is the solid waste, sir. Solid waste is basically solid or semi-solid waste that are generated from different activities that are going in a community. From there, the waste which is generated, that is generally known as solid waste. If this solid waste is generated from domestic activities, see, if this solid waste is generated from domestic activities, then it is known as domestic solid waste or refuse. Then it is known as domestic solid waste or refuse. And if same waste is generated from industrial activities, it is known as industrial solid waste, like the chemicals coming from the industries or the byproducts that are coming from the industries in the form of waste. And if that waste is produced from the medical activities or laboratory activities, that is known as biomedical waste. So all the waste they have which are been generating overall, that is basically known as solid waste. So solid waste treatment, disposal, collection, so for every waste the facilities are different. Like for biomedical waste the facility is different. There will be a common biomedical waste facility, MRF facility, where you will treat the biomedical waste, that will be different. For domestic waste, what are getting collected, that is basically known as municipal solid waste, that are getting collected from our houses. For them the treatment techniques will be different. So we are going to today talk about background and legal basis of solid waste management rule 2026. Now remember, why sir here 2026 is written, because before 1st of April 2026 the rules that was going on, that was municipal solid waste rules 2016, means previously notified rule was 2016 under Ministry of Environment and Forest Change. That is basically a apex body which will give the policies and framework for these rules, and these are being implemented by CPCB, that is your Central Pollution Control Board. The State Pollution Control Board are authorized for legal activities, mean those who are following that or any non-compliance is there for these rules. So these are being followed by your which body, your state pollution. And there is the urban local bodies, their work is to collect this waste and to collect and take to the some facilities. So see, the solid waste management rule 2026 were notified by MOEFCC. These rules supersede the solid waste management rule under Environmental Protection Act EPA. Basically it was under EPA for 1986. EPA was established. In EPA, under EPA these all rules comes. These rules are effective from April 1st 2026. Their central focus is stricter waste segregation, accountability, implementation across both urban and rural local bodies. Now see, the framework combines at source, local body. See, at source means source is our house where this waste is generating. Source is basically the place where this waste is generating. So the framework combines segregation at source, means we have to segregate the waste at the source. Like you will see, at your house you are keeping the wet waste differently, you are keeping dry differently, you are keeping hazardous differently. So this is basically a segregation at source. The framework segregation at source, local body's responsibility. The local body's responsibility is to take that waste from your house. Treatment and processing, restricted landfill use, digital monitoring, pollutant pay reinforcement and legacy waste remediation. Applicability and scope. The solid waste management rule 2026 applies to all local authorities including urban and rural local bodies. They also applies to all entities within the jurisdiction of local authorities irrespective of ownership and management structure. Generally, the scope extends beyond the urban local bodies and notified areas include the rural local bodies. As you can see, these rule covers all the waste generated within the jurisdiction of local authorities. The framework gives the importance to prevention, reduction, reuse, recycling and recovery and final disposal. Always remember, if we will ask you about the hierarchy in municipal solid waste or solid waste management, so always hierarchy, the first it comes is reduce. If it is not possible to reduce, see, first we will try to reduce the waste. So in hierarchy, on the top position is your reduce. If it is not possible to reduce, then it will be your reuse, then it will be recycling. If recycling is also not possible, then it comes your recovery, then it comes your final disposal. If this is not followed, this is basically the hierarchy which we have to follow. If, see, first we will try to reuse, first we will try to reduce. Like, see, if you are going to any shop, you are buying something, you have taken the plastic carry bag for that. You will come to your house, you will just throw the plastic carry bag. That is a not good habit. So what I will do, next time when I will go, I will tell him, don't give me plastic bag, I have brought some bag. That is basically what? Reduce. Now what is the meaning of reuse, sir? See, what I will do, first time the plastic bag which I have brought, on second day I will take the same bag. That is basically reuse. Third, see, it is recycling. What I will do, I will give this plastic to some specific vendors, those who are recycling this plastic and they are making fuels, RDF, refuse derived fuels. Next is your recovery. Recovery means if recycling is not possible, I will recover that. Means everywhere where plastic is generated, I will recover and I will take somewhere. And if this is also not possible, then we will go for final disposal. So this is hierarchy generally. So this is basically hierarchy. Okay. Now talking about, see, entities and sector covered. Okay, entities and sector covered. See, government and private, public entities, all these sectors are covered. Special zones, transport and defense, institutional and public areas. Okay. Now talking about what was the major difference between solid waste management rule 2016 and 2026. Always remember, whenever he will ask, as per solid waste management rule 2026, at source, in how many streams we have to segregate the waste. So as per 26 rules, it comes out to be 4. At source, you have to segregate the waste into 4 categories. But before 2026, the rule was 2016. In this rule, the same thing was given as a 3 categories. And the 3 were biodegradable, non-biodegradable and was your domestic hazardous. But from 1st of April 2026, the rule says now you have to segregate in a 4 categories, and that 4 streams are wet waste, dry waste, sanitary waste and special care waste. Like in wet waste, when you will talk, in wet waste it comes like your fruit peels, vegetable peels, these are all wet waste basically which comes from our home. Sir, what are dry waste? Like glass, paper, metal, these are all dry waste. Sir, what are the sanitary waste? Like napkins, tampons, pads, these all come under sanitary waste. Like when you will talk about special care waste, like thermometers, like your thermometers are there, paints are there, these all are because in that there is some kind of hazardous material. So basically 4 streams are categorized: wet, dry, sanitary and special. Before 2000, in 2016 it was 3: biodegradable, non-biodegradable and domestic. Okay, I hope this is clear to you all. See, for biodegradable, you know, biodegradable means that can be biologically treated. These are known as biodegradables, like fruit peels, your vegetable peels, these all are biodegradable. Non-biodegradable means basically rubbish like things like glass, paper, cardboard, these all are non-biodegradable. Domestic hazardous means like basically the hazardous materials which comes from domestic activities. Now see, waste hierarchy not specified in the comparison table. Waste hierarchy is not specified, but here see, prevention, reduction, reuse, recycling, recovery, disposal. I told you na, first will be prevention. We will prevent as per. After that there is reduction. After that there is reuse. After that, mostly they will ask 3 R's of waste management: reduce, reuse, recycle. He can ask you about 3 R's also. So if he asks 3 R's, generally reduce, reuse, recycle. You can remember: reduce, reuse and recycle. This is basically 3 R's. He can ask you in the question. Okay, so prevention, reduction, reuse, recycling, it was specified in 2026, but it was not in there 2016. Polluter pays principle. Now who will be polluting? They will pay. It was not specified in this, but environmental compensation for non-compliance is there. Monitoring system, there was no central monitoring, but here central monitoring system is there. Sanitary landfill standards prescribed in 2016. If you will see here, landfill only for non-recyclable and non-reclaimable. Before 2016 rule, what was happening on landfill, people were throwing anything. Means any waste that was thrown, anything was thrown on a landfill. But in 2026 they said on landfill that waste will be only thrown that is basically non-recyclable and non-recoverable. Means the waste which I cannot recycle, I cannot do anything with that waste, that I will throw in the landfill. Other than waste, if it is recyclable, if it can be decomposed, if it can be treated, I will not throw on the landfill. This is the difference between Solid Waste Management Rule 2016 and Solid Waste Management Rule 2026. So I hope you got this. What is the difference? Always remember 4 streams here, 3 here. So 4 streams means wet, dry, your sanitary and special care waste. They can ask you bins also for that. This for wet, green, here blue, here red, here you can see black. First it was here green, blue, and he can see domestic hazardous is your black. So when we are today we are going to just discuss about basics of this. In the class, if you will enroll, I have taught the everything from the detail in that. So when you will enroll for the class, everything you will get in the detail. So your batches are running. So you can opt for that. For AEE, YourPedia stands in a pollution control board in a #1 in India. So you can opt for that batch. In that batch, we are going to discuss everything in the detail. But okay, now see waste hierarchy under Solid Waste Management Rule 2026. Sir, what is the waste hierarchy? So here, first is your prevention, reduction, reuse, recycling, recovery. So prevention means avoid or prevent avoidable waste generation is the first step. Reduction means reduce the quantity of waste requiring handling and final disposal. Reuse means promote the repeated use. Like I told you, every day you are going to take the milk from the shop. So every day you take your own carry bag, so that new carry bag will not be there in the market. So if new carry bag is not there, it will also not cause the pollution. It will not increase the waste. Recycling is there. Send the dry waste to MRF. Sir, what is MRF? MRF is basically material recovery facility that is built in every city. That dry waste will go to MRF, like paper, cardboard, your like this kind of rubber, textiles, these all waste go to MRF, so that RDF can be produced. Recover value through the process such as RDF use. RDF is basically refuse derived fuel. Waste to energy means we will convert this waste to energy. The waste which are having a high calorific value, that can be converted to energy. And biogas promotion means the basically from some waste we can produce biogas also. Biomethanation, we can say methane will be there. Methane has a high calorific value. We can use that as a energy. So biogas promotion as mentioned in Solid Waste Management Rule 2026. Last is your disposal. Dispose only the residual. See, we will dispose the only residual, non-recyclable, non-recoverable inert fractions. Inert fractions means those are non-reactant, cannot be done anything, that are basically thrown on a landfill as specified in 2026. Now see, 4-stream segregation. 4-stream segregation, we have talked about this. When we are talking about 4-stream segregation, first is your wet waste. Remember, sir, what is the meaning of wet waste? Kitchen waste, food leftover, fruit and vegetable peels. Now the required handling pathway, always remember, wet waste must be composted or biomethanated. I already told you now, wet waste means biodegradable waste which can be biologically treated, that can be converted into some kind of manures for fertilizers. So the biodegradable waste that are generally wet waste, where there is somewhat organic content, that will be mostly handled through compost or biomethanation. That can be handled through compost or biomethanation. Talking about dry waste, basically the waste like plastic, paper, metal and glass. Dry waste must be sent to MRF. MRF means Material Recovery Facility for Recycling. Like see, you would have heard many times, this chair or this thing is made from recycled plastic. Like you see many times big companies advertise this shoes is made from plastics thrown in the ocean. So that is what? That is a process of recycling. So in material recovery facility, what is happening? We are taking that materials which are dry in nature and we will process them and make the different kinds of material from that, so that that does not go in waste, that will be basically recycled. So many places you will see these things are made from recycled plastic, this thing is made from recycled rubber. So these things are also getting common, and solid waste management rule 2026 is also promoting mostly these rules. Okay, now talking about third category, when you will see third stream, that is basically sanitary waste. Sanitary waste, whenever we talk about, it comes like diapers and sanitary napkins. This comes under sanitary waste. So see, sanitary waste directly cannot be sent to any recovery facility or any processes, or directly can't be thrown on a basically landfill. So these things are basically must be securely wrapped and stored separately. So remember this. Now take about special care waste. In special care waste, when I will talk, there are bulbs, batteries and medicines are there. So special care waste must be handed over only to authorized agencies designated collection centers. So special care waste you have to take very good care, take basically very specific care, because if these are open in the environment, then they can create some kind of pollutions in the environment. So special care waste like bulbs, batteries, see I will give you example why. See, in batteries there are so many hazardous or toxic compounds are there. So if this battery is not handled properly, if you will throw here and there, what will happen? If anybody will come in contact, so you have to take good care before throwing them, before giving to any designated facility. So you cannot throw them, you have to just give to any designated where the recycling is going on, you have to give there only. So these are the four categories of waste stream: wet, dry, sanitary and special care waste. Now see segregation. Segregation is directly connected to pollution prevention. If segregated streams waste are mixed, recyclable and recoverable fractions may be pushed toward landfill, while sanitary and special care waste can create handling and environmental risk. See, segregation is why important. See, segregation meaning is differentiating. Like you have to keep the every waste differently, because if you will mix, what will happen? See, if I am mixing dry and wet waste, see, wet waste should be go for what? Composting. Dry waste should have gone for MRF. But what will happen now if the waste is mixed? See, if I will throw the waste for composting, this mixed waste, the MRF waste like dry waste will not get compost. If you will take this waste directly to landfill, what will happen? This waste will also be not treated properly. So always segregation is directly connected to pollution prevention. So segregation is the most important part. So if segregation waste streams are mixed, recyclable and recoverable fractions may be pushed toward landfill, while sanitary and special care waste can create handling and environmental risk. The SWM rules 2026, if we will talk about, therefore present segregation in the starting point for proper collection and treatment. See, whose responsibility is collection system? So collection is organized through local bodies and waste management systems. Urban local bodies are identified as primary implementing agencies, while rural areas are divided between district panchayats and gram panchayat. Urban local bodies are what? Urban local bodies have primary implementation. Their duties include door-to-door collection, establishment of processing facilities and MRFs, preparation of city solid waste action plans. These all come under local bodies. Like door-to-door collection, urban local body are responsible for establishing of processing facilities. These all comes under what? Urban local bodies. Now rural local bodies are what? In rural regions, roles are divided between district panchayats and gram panchayats. Like which is your district panchayat, which is your gram panchayat, their role is to collect the waste and to take the waste to a certain place. What are bulk waste generator? Bulk waste generator are defined as the entities with a floor area of 20,000 square meters or more, water consumption of 40,000 liters per day, or waste generator of 100 kg per day. These comes under bulk waste generator. Extended bulk waste generator responsibility requires bulk generator to process wet waste on site or obtain a responsibility certificate if on-site processing is not feasible. So those who are bulk waste generators means those who are generating waste over a certain limit, for them it is necessary to take the certificate. If you are able to treat that waste on your site, it is good. If you are not able to, then you have to take the certificate if on-site processing is not feasible. Now treatment and processing pathways. What are treatment? See, Treatment and processing under SWM rules 2026 are linked with the segregated waste stream. Each waste type of has a different pathway, and this is a central important area for pollution control board preparation. So when you are preparing for pollution control boards, the mostly questions you will get from these areas. And in previous year paper also, today what question I have kept, mostly questions has came from this area only. First thing, wet waste. Always remember, wet waste can be treated composting or biomethanation. It can be treated by composting or biomethanation. What is composting, sir? Composting means the biodegradable waste that are basically that are treated by the process known as composting. In that, waste is basically decomposed and converted into a very good fertilizer or manures, you can say, or important product that can be used as a fertilizer or manure. This composting can be aerobic also, anaerobic also. Aerobic composting means if it is happening in presence of oxygen, anaerobic means if it is happening in absence of oxygen. So composting can be aerobic or anaerobic also. Second is your dry waste. Dry waste mostly go to MRF for processing and recycling. Sanitary waste means secure wrapping. Special care waste means handed to authorized. Non-recyclable means RDF production by sharing, drying, pelletizing. Legacy waste means time-bound biomining and bioremediation with scientific handling of biomined fractions. For legacy waste, residual waste, it will go to sanitary landfill. What sanitary landfills means? It is a basically engineered landfill that is properly made for the waste disposal. Means everything is properly followed there and the waste is disposal. It is not open dumping site. Open dumping site is different, sanitary landfills are different, always remember. Now when we are talking about composting and biomethanation, different techniques are there. Always remember, composting and biomethanation. See, wet waste must be composting or biomethanated. The rules also state that urban local body shall promote decentralized composting. Means composting by nearby your house also should be promoted. Always not centralized composting. Agriculture and fertilizer department have roles related to standards, promotions and grading of compost and organic manure. Always remember, in this composting, always a question will be asked about anaerobic aerobic composting and anaerobic composting. See, when we will ask about anaerobic composting, one process name is there. It was firstly adopted. It is generally run in that area. Aerobic composting, it was first organized by Indore process. Aerobic composting, answer will be your Indore process, and anaerobic composting, answer will be your Bangalore process. They will ask generally, remember. So what is composting? Composting is the process of conversion of wet waste in a organic manure or fertilizers by the help of different microorganisms, and if this is basically done with the help of earthworms, it is known as vermicomposting. If composting is done with the help of earthworms, it is vermicomposting. Vermicomposting means earthworm will be present there. And they will do the composting. Otherwise, your composting will be generally can be aerobic or anaerobic. If your composting is aerobic, it is Indore process. If it is anaerobic, it is Bangalore process. Okay, from composting point of view, you have to remember one thing also. Generally, from composting point of view, we have to see the C/N ratio also. What is the moisture content? These are also important things. If you are doing aerobic composting, the end product will be your nutrient rich. That can be used as a manure or fertilizer. So this is basically composting. It can be also used to produce biogas. It can be also, many times you have seen biogas plants are there in different parts of India. They are only when you are composting it anaerobically, methane gas will release. That methane can be used as a energy because methane is having a high calorific value. That is why it is known as biomethanation, biological process. Because composting is a biological process, and from that we are getting the methane. That is why biomethanation. See, second is your MRF. MRF is basically dry waste must be sent to material recovery facilities for recycling. Local bodies are required to establish processing facilities. Okay. RDF is basically what, sir? The rules mention a RDF, refuse derived fuel mandate to promote circular economy. Sir, what is circular economy? See, circular economy, basically there are two kinds of economy. One is your linear economy. Linear economy means create, use and dispose. Circular economy means like this. Your economy will run like this. Like this circular economy means we will we will create it, we will use it, we will recycle it, then another time we will what, from that recycle we will create something, we will keep that thing in an economy, we will not dispose it. This is basically linear economy. In linear economy what we do, in linear economy basically what we do, we generate it, we use it and we dispose it. But in circular economy what we will do, we will generate it, we will use it, we will recycle it, then after recycling a new product, then that new product will be used, then that will be recycled. So this will be running in the circular economy. So RDF is to promote circular economy. Industries such as cement and waste to energy plant must increase the RDF use. Before, in 2016 rule, there was one provision that the plant nearby of 100 km of RDF plant should use the 5% of their total energy as a RDF. That has been increased to now 15% over the 6 years to replace solid fuel. RDF is described as a solid waste management rule 2026 as high calorific fuel produced by the processing non-recyclable municipal solid waste through shredding, drying and pelletizing. Okay. Waste to energy and biogas promotion. So see, the rules allocate to roll the power and renewable energy ministries for waste to energy. See, what is the meaning of waste to energy? Means those compounds which have the high amount of energy that can be processed by this method, like incineration is there, pyrolysis is there. So this should be understood as a recovery oriented part of waste hierarchy before final disposal. So you will, example like the process like incineration and pyrolysis are the method of waste to energy conversion. It involves high temperature burning 850 degrees Celsius to 1000 degrees Celsius. The processes like incineration and pyrolysis, the method of waste to energy conversion, it involves high temperature burning. So you can see waste to energy means we will burn the temperature, we will burn the waste at a very high temperature. The following results what are coming, like when you are doing in absence of oxygen you will get some kind of byproduct, when you are doing in presence of oxygen you will get some kind of byproduct. After that ash which is remaining, we will dispose that ash on the different ash on the landfills. So waste to energy is also a process which is generally adopted. The processes there are like incineration, high temperature burning, generally temperature is nearby 850 to 1000 degree. But what is meaning of incineration? The burning is happening in presence of oxygen, that is known as incineration. If burning is happening in absence of oxygen, that is known as pyrolysis. Pyrolysis is in absence of oxygen. Absence of oxygen. So you can remember this also. Generally one question has been asked from this. Disposal techniques and landfill restrictions. Disposal is the last stage of waste hierarchy. See, always remember disposal. In last you will go for disposal, directly you will not go for disposal. The rules give the special attention to sanitary landfills. What are sanitary landfills? Only non-reusable, non-recyclable and non-biodegradable dry waste, non-combustible, non-energy recoverable. These waste should be only thrown in the basically sanitary landfill. Wet waste are generated and waste generated from building and demolition activities cannot be disposed in sanitary landfills as per SWM 2026. See, identification and operation of sanitary landfill. The responsibility for identifying location for established landfills and regional cluster basis lies with state government and UTs. State government means your SPCB, State Pollution Control Board, and for union territory it is pollution control committees. Local government are required to select properly qualified organization to maintain it. Okay. There should be high charges from improper landfill disposal, means if you are properly not disposing it, charges should be high. Now see, disposal techniques are mentioned here. How these are going on, you can see here also. See, always remember two things he can ask you. Bioremediation, legacy waste remediation method for dump site. Biomining is basically time-bound remediation for old dump site and scientific handling of biomined fractions. Okay, we can move further. Okay, this is centralized online portal and digital governments, a new initiative. A major feature of SWM 2026 is creation of a centralized online portal operated by CPCB. The portal functions as the single national data repository for registration, filing of returns, environmental compensation and enforcement. You can see what are happening if you are non-compliance with the rules, what is going to happen. It is mostly shared here. Okay, institutional roles and responsibilities. Central level what? A central monitoring committee, that is basically Ministry of Environment, MOEFCC, monitors implementation at national level. CPCB plays the central role in developing standard. Always remember, the role of CPCB is to develop the standards. The role of MOEFCC ministry is to implement the monitoring at a facility at a national level. Okay, state level, every state has and union territory is required to form a state level implementation committee and formulate the state policies and strategies. Okay, you can see here MOHUA, basically urban waste management policy and infrastructure development. Department of Drinking Water, rural waste management strategy. Agriculture and fertilizer will give you the standard for your compost from that manure what you have made. Power and renewable energy, basically waste to energy and biogas promotion. So these are the different, basically what? These are the different organizations which are going to be seen in this whole process. Okay, you can see key provisions, what are there? We have kept that also for you. So you can see key provisions also. These are the different things what we have studied. I have clubbed here. Now we will move to questions. Okay, we will move to questions. See, your PYQs are there. So what kind of questions have been came in your exam? We will see that. So first question here is, which type of solid waste describes the municipal solid waste? Which type of solid waste? See, municipal solid waste is basically non-hazardous. See, it is hazardous, no sir. It is non-toxic, no. Toxic, no. It is basically non-hazardous. So which of the following type of solid waste best describe the municipal solid waste? Non-hazardous. Because municipal solid waste, that are the solid waste that is coming from your home. So these are the basically non-hazardous type. Okay. See, what is the term for the decomposition of biodegradable solid waste by earthworms? So biodegradable solid waste, I have told you na, biodegradable solid waste by earthworms. That is basically what? That is basically vermicomposting. That is basically what? Vermicomposting. That is basically what? Vermicomposting. So what is the term for decomposition of biodegradable? That is basically vermicomposting. Composting is generally biodegradable solid waste by general process. By in presence of microorganisms you are doing decomposition. That is basically composting. But vermicomposting is a special term when used when biodegradable solid by earthworms. It is known as vermicomposting. It is known as vermicomposting. Which of the following is not included as municipal solid waste? See, food waste from private home, it is municipal solid waste, yes. But in question he has asked which of the following is not. So paper and glass from institution, yes, it comes under municipal solid waste. Plastic cans from commercial establishment, but construction and demolition debris, these does not come under municipal solid waste. So there is a different rule for this construction and demolition waste. There is a different rule that comes under a different entity. So construction and demolition debris, that does not come under municipal solid waste. Now see, which waste contains a wide variety of materials such as food waste, vegetable waste, paper, plastic, cardboard, aluminium foil, etc. So see, he has asked which waste contains a wide variety of material. So see, in agriculture, in industrial waste there is not wide variety. In agricultural waste there is a specific variety of waste. In hazardous waste also there is a specific, but in municipal solid waste it contains all the different kinds. So if there is a wide variety of material in municipal solid waste, like food waste is there, vegetable waste is there, paper, plastic, cardboard, every type of waste is there. Which of the following process is known for decomposing organic matter in the waste? So decomposing organic matter is the waste. Which of the process? Whenever we are having a biodegradable waste, we are decomposing the waste in the presence of microorganism. The process is generally known as composting. The process is generally known as composting is the process known as the decomposing organic matter in the waste. That is basically known as composting. Okay. Moving on to next question. देखिए. Okay. So let's see. What strategy should be adopted for solid waste disposal? So from these all, which strategy should be adopted? Waste reduction management plan, waste utilization management plan, recycling waste, no, integrated waste. See, everything should be integrated in that. So basically we will go for integrated waste management plan. These are all the PYQs which have been came for your exam. Okay, now moving on to one of the last question what he is asking. Which of the following does not describe zero waste management? So from here, which of the following is not describing zero waste management? That is basically segregation of garbage at its origin. It is describing separate collection, yes. Zero waste management. Involvement of the community, yes. Mixed collection. See, In zero waste management, mixed collection is not allowed. So your answer will be mixed collection. So these are the kind of PYQs what are we going to coming in your exam. So in theory portion, I have covered everything. In PYQs also, I told you what are the different questions what he can ask you. So remember, these are the questions what they have asked in your previous year papers. So these are not basically very tough questions. These are basically very easy questions what they are going to ask you. Like, see, which of the known for decomposing organic matter in the waste. Okay, that is composting. Okay, so these are the municipal solid waste. So these are the kind of questions they are going to ask you in exam. So study, you have to study these kind of questions. So basically your batch has been active for Telangana Pollution Control Board for AEE. So you can opt for that batch. In that batch, everything is going to be taught you in a live way, and some portions are also started. So basically, if you will join as fast as possible, your batch will also be completing approximately by mid of August or 10th of August. Your batch will also be completed, and it will be a very beneficial for you. So you can join at the YourPedia. You can also comment below in this video how you like the video, or if you have any query, you can ask in the video also. So we will end this video by completing your generally a basic rules for solid waste management, the new rule which has came. So thank you all of you. We will meet in next classes.